Hey everyone, this is Tracy with the Oasis for Natural Healing. So, jumping on a little bit late. Don't know if anybody is late or up now. If you are, and oh wow, hang on. Apparently, that's kind of interesting. So, apparently, you can have I have Instagram on. I'm trying to restream, and I just figured out that you can actually add Instagram to restream, but you have to have the Instagram tab open on your on the laptop. So all of a sudden, I started hearing um, feedback, and I was like, "Oh, because I got to turn off the volume on Instagram." Anyway, so it's a little bit late. If anybody's up and watching this, would love to say hi, hear you guys, comment in the section, let me know where you're at. But anyway, we are going to be talking tonight about roadblocks, renal dysfunction, and really awesome results. So, roadblocks, renal dysfunctions, and really awesome results with quantum nutrition testing. Okay. So, roadblocks. There's lots of roadblocks that come up in your life, and they can be roadblocks to your health. They can be roadblocks to financial situations. They can be roadblocks to achieving your goals, your dreams, um, choices in your life. And so, what do we do about that? Well, I want to talk to you like about goals and healthcare or your health goals. And usually I find like goals or like your personal, like if you have like a lot of roadblocks in your own life, some of the same habits will actually transfer over into roadblocks into your health as well. And again, if you're joining us, please say hi. Would love to know where you guys are from. Please give a, or if you are watching a replay on this, give a replay, put replay on there. But if you're live, please join us. And just let me know where you're at. I would love to see like where people are, joining from. So would love to see that. Um, anyway, so roadblocks. You know, I think a lot of us do have our like we get in our own way of things. Especially like in our own personal life, and our own personal goals. And we can wind up having roadblocks, and this can actually lead into like health blocks too. Because at least for me, like on a personal level, like I find that a lot of my own habits will like kind of go into other areas of my life. And it might look different, but actually they're one and the same. Um, so sometimes we might have impulse behavior, like we might be very impulsive on decision making, but then we can be impulsive in other things, like eating things, like eating foods, or impulsive on buying things, or impulsive on decision making. Um, and there can be some, it can actually trigger off and lead into other areas. And we can have limiting beliefs in ourselves. So those can be roadblocks. Like if you're constantly saying, to yourself, nothing is going to work. Like I've tried these different things and nothing is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work or this isn't going to work, and you keep saying this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. Subconsciously, you're actually telling yourself, and the mind is a really powerful thing. The mind is so, so powerful. And your body will actually you can actually start believing that. You keep repeating a phrase over and over and over again, and it actually becomes your truth. And if you believe that nothing is going to work, then guess what? Nothing is going to work. Nothing. Even if you had like the golden elixir of healing or whatever, if you don't believe it's going to work, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter what anybody says, what anybody does, you're not going to get better. So sometimes we can have limiting beliefs in our own body's ability to heal. And the body is actually an amazing, amazing tool. And the body can actually do so much healing. And it knows how to heal when we get out of our way, when this gets out of our way. And this is so much more powerful than what people actually give it credit for. And there's been studies upon studies where the mind can actually create outcomes. Whether it's a placebo effect or not, if you tell somebody that they are not going to get better and they really, really trust your judgment and they really take that into heart with their head, they won't get better. But if you actually start if you tell somebody that they're going to get better, if you tell them and they start believing in you and start believing what you're telling them and then they start having that belief, it's amazing on what that mind can actually do. So your mind is actually a very, very powerful, powerful tool for healing. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. Um, so you have to really you got to get out of your own way. And yeah, roadblocks can be a really big hinder in how people heal. And people, I truly believe that, like, and I've seen this like with like kidney, so renal kidney patients and stuff like that. The reason why I bring up renal dysfunction is because you know there's been several patients that are in stage 3 kidney disease or needing a kidney transplant. And they're so afraid, like, they haven't gotten the kidney transplant, but a lot of doctors will tell the patient that they can't do any supplements, that they can't do anything because then that risks them of getting a donor. And this becomes very, very touchy because patients get scared and trapped into thinking that there's only one way out, and that's to get a kidney transplant. And people have actually been able to help their kidneys out tremendously. Nothing is ever a guarantee to begin with. Okay, not even that transplant. And in fact, you can get really, really, really sick from that transplant. You're already really, really sick, but I mean, the amount of autoimmune suppressants that they have to give you and everything else is just horrific, and it can put a really big taxing toll on that body. One of the things that, I love about quantum nutrition testing is that we help to find out the underlying cause. So why is that organ stressed out in the first place? Is it heavy metals? Is it heavy chemicals? When you remove the roadblocks, even like physical roadblocks, like toxins, like parasites, then your body can heal. Sometimes those like physical roadblocks, like parasites and toxins and things like that, can actually change your mood and your behavior and cause mental roadblocks too. So if you remove the parasites, you remove the toxins, then all of a sudden you can start thinking better. You actually have more motivation to take care of yourself because you're feeling better, if that makes sense. And when that happens, healing can actually occur. If you don't remove the underlying cause, how is healing going to happen? Healing can't happen. And that goes back for like so renal patients, there's always an underlying cause of why you have kidney dysfunction. Whether it's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, there's always an underlying cause. Tissues and cells are regenerating constantly. Your body, every single cell has its own life cycle. And so our whole goal is to find out, well, what is causing the cells to be damaged in the first place? And then, like, whether again, like it's toxins, it's bad bacteria, it's chemicals, it's parasites, like what's the underlying cause? And then find out what supplements your body needs to get rid of the underlying cause while giving nutritional support. Because guess what? When you remove what the roadblocks and when you give nutritional support, your cells can actually start healing. Yeah, it actually can happen, and it does happen. You see it in my office all the freaking time, and ask any one of my colleagues, which are hundreds of them. Healing can happen no matter what. When you remove the toxins and you give nutritional support, healing can actually happen. Your thyroid, your heart, your blood cells, your liver, your pancreas, your cells are dividing and replicating all the time. And they can actually replicate a healthier version of themselves again, like I said, when you remove the toxins and things like that. And that goes for renal patients too. But everybody's so afraid to take supplements. And I find this, not to sound goofy, I find this kind of astonishing and kind of funny because people will, especially with, I've seen this with kidney patients, especially, they're afraid to take supplements, but yet they're taking 100, like, they have no problems taking like 10 different medications from their doctor, and half of their side effects are actually causing the kidney damage in the first place. Like, if you actually look at all the side effects. But they're afraid to take a whole food supplement that actually will give nutritional support for the kidney or for something else, or whatever body part that is. And it kind of astonishes me about that. And with quantum nutrition testing, we get really, really, really good results. On average, and it's not a guarantee, but on average, most of my patients in just 3 months have an average of 25 to 50% improvement of their overall symptoms in just 3 months. Could you imagine feeling like 25 to 50% better than what you feel now? That's like freaking amazing. That's amazing. And why? Because quantum nutrition testing actually works. And it's specific for the individual. It's not a protocol. Protocol lumps everybody into one category and says that every single person needs the same supplements, the same dosage for the same length of time or whatever. And that's not really the case. Every single person is an individual. That means your body is going to react different or need a different set of supplements, or what you can have the same symptoms as your mom or your dad or whatever, but you might need a completely set of different supplements than your mom or your dad or your brother or whomever, because you are a different person and what your body needs is different than the other person. That's why, and we can figure that out. And that's why this works so freaking well. It's quite amazing. I love quantum nutrition testing because it literally figures out what your body specifically needs and why do you have your symptoms. So, two people can have anxiety. One person's anxiety might be related to their adrenal gland, and the other person's might be from their thyroid, or maybe it's from the pituitary, or maybe it's even from the gut because their gut's off balance. And we know that the gut has a lot to do with mental health. The gut brain balance, you have more serotonin receptors in your gut than you do in your brain, believe it or not. So if the gut's off, you're going to have anxiety and depression and things like that. So we want to find out which areas are functioning optimally, which ones are not, and if they're not, then why. toxins, maybe you're eating foods, maybe you have a food intolerance and not necessarily a food allergy, but maybe you have a food intolerances that's causing slight inflammation that you might not even be aware of because you've been feeling bad for so long. You don't even remember what feeling good is. So you're not even aware that you have inflammation and that these foods are causing inflammatory responses in your body. Okay. So we're going to find out that too. We're going to find out, have you been exposed to Lyme, undiagnosed Lyme? Have you been exposed to parasites? Do you have parasites? And poop samples are not an adequate way for finding parasites. Let me tell you, we're going to find out if you have heavy metals or heavy chemicals, or maybe you have mold, which is causing a hormonal imbalance, which is causing all the fluctuations in your body and your mood. Or maybe you have heavy metals and it's putting a stress on your kidneys. You get rid of the heavy metals and you give a little bit of kidney support, and now your kidneys can function better. Or maybe those frequent UTIs and chronic kidney infections or kidney stones, maybe that's a buildup of toxins, parasites, or whatever. Let's get rid of that. And yeah, you can have parasites in your kidneys, believe it or not. And those can actually cause pH imbalances leading to an overgrowth of bacteria. And that's why you keep getting UTIs and kidney infections. It's not because the bacteria is actually a secondary infection related to parasites. And you're missing the root cause of why you keep getting bacterial infections. And yes, that can happen. Seen it many times. And then we can find out exactly what supplement your body specifically needs to get rid of the underlying cause and while giving nutritional support. And we have virtual and in-person appointments. And if this is something that you're interested in, you get a free 10-minute discovery phone call to figure so that way we can discuss and we can educate you on how this can actually be done virtually as well. As wonky as that sounds, and I'm sure some people are out there and that does sound wonky, but yeah, this can be done virtually. Give us a call. Let me explain on how that works. At this point, obviously you're watching this for a reason. So, and most people are beside themselves and they don't know what to do because they've done all the testing. Their doctors, hate to say it, have failed to fix the cause of their problems. Go to the doctor. Well, we don't know why you have this, but here, have a pill. Your labs look fine, or maybe they don't. Oh, well, they don't look fine. This is, you have thyroid issues or you have kidney problems, and you're going to have to be on this medication for the rest of your life. That doesn't really sound like a solution and an option to me either. There's something else going on, guys. So just don't take it for that. Dig deeper, find out the reason why your organs are not functioning optimally. Okay? That's something that you would like to further discuss, give us a call, 708 554 6730.